Welcome to In Depth with Academia. Richard, CEO of academia.edu, and it's great to you. Join me today for another conversation exploring the frontier of academic research. Alright, so today's episode all about a really expansive and, well, honestly, kind of mind-be-new philosophical framework proposed by Rajiv. The paper we'll be looking at is titled The Philosophy of Rajiv Singh, a Theory of Recursive Structural Reality. Let me lay out for us. The core question at the heart of this is, what is reality actually? Not as described by the equations of physics or the metaphysical ramblings of old philosophers, but can we fuse these in a way that both explains the structure of and accounts for, experience? In short, Rajiv Singh is trying to one of the divides in contemporary thought, the one separating accounts of being from scientific explanations of the physical universe. Now, why is this significant? If you're listening to this show, you probably sense there's something missing in both physics and philosophy when it comes to consciousness. Like physics gives marvelous tools to describe what things do, but not what things ultimately, or why experience exists at all. Singh aims to fill that blind spot by offering what he calls recursive structural real, a vision of the universe, a gigantic self-referential informational system where matter, mathematics, and are interdependent. And to be totally clear, I presenting all of this neutrally. I'm not here to tell you Singh is right or wrong, just that it's a fascinating framework. So let's jump into the and key findings. Singh together metaphysics, quantum physics, information theory, AI, and consciousness studies into a single philosophical structure he calls recursive philosophy. His main move, instead of seeing consciousness as a byproduct of muddy, he claims is fundamental feature of reality. That's pretty wild, right? What you might call reductionist physicalism, the view that only matter is real and mind is just weird side effect. For Singh, that story leaves us with a gap. Can't get from atoms doing stuff to, say, the taste of coffee, the of awe. He argues that reality is fundamentally recursive, where the universe generates observers, like us, who in turn reflect on and model universe. It's like the universe is thinking about itself. To make this concrete, he imports ideas from information theory and mathematics, treating those as not just human inventions, but as the language reality uses to structure itself. Singh even builds proposals for this model might clarify tricky scientific puzzles, like the quantum measurement problem, where particles seem to decide on a concrete reality only when observed. According to Singh, it's this recursive feedback, awareness reflecting matter, that closes loop and collapses possibilities into reality. He puts it another bold: physics supplies the hardware, but consciousness is the software. The two are entangled, and you can see this challenge in his critique of thinkers like Stephen Hawking, Roger Penrose, David Bohm, and on the philosophy side, historic giants Kant or Whitehead. Singh thinks most of them get some piece of the puzzle, but never quite integrate it all. For instance, echoes Penrose's view that math is more than a tool, but still thinks Penn ties consciousness too tightly to biology. Or, like with David Bohm, Singh appreciates the implicate order, a hidden wholeness, but wants to give it mathematical structure. Okay, here's a bit of a side note, and bear me. I once spent a whole afternoon trying to wrap my head around Penn's theories, and I just kept coming back to this old coffee cup on my desk, whether it was experiencing its own little slice of consciousness. I mean, do coffee cups factor into structural reality? Anyway, not really. Just shows how these ideas, get under your back to insights that matter for you, for all of us. Singh's theory tries to bridge scientific knowledge, metaphysical wonder, and choices. I should underscore, none of this is revealed truth. Academic research is not gospel. It's a series of windows into possible interpretations, always open to critique. Singh's model is especially interesting for those curious about artificial intelligence. He claims that AI shouldn't just process information, but needs recursive self, a kind of digital soul, to be genuinely conscious. So, for listeners fascinated by the frontiers of mind, reality, the future of Singh suggests we may need to rethink both where consciousness lives and how we ethics in technology. If reality itself is an informational loop involving awareness, it challenges to see ourselves, not as isolated observers of a dead universe, but as participants in its ongoing self-reflection, a little humbling. For ultimately, whether or not you buy Singh's arguments, his work reminds us philos and science can be creative, alive, and radically integer. The quest for understanding is a loop. Maybe we're not just asking the questions, but helping reality ask itself through us. And with that, we up today's dive into Rajiv Singh's recursive philosophy. Thanks for joining me on In Depth with Academia. Keep reflecting, keep questioning, and above all, keep your sense of wonder alive. Until next time, take care.